Hello class, this is Miss Davenport.
This is Miss Slaymaker.
Today we're going to work on going in between circumference and area. Okay, so we're going to use the circumference to find the area. We're going to use the area to find the circumference of a circle. But first we're going to work, you're going to do your warm-up. So ready, set, go. Okay, so now that you've had time to do your warm-up, if you have a, we're going to go over it. So if you have, for number one, if you have a tire that is 2.3 feet in diameter, what distance would it cover if the tire completes 12 revolutions? Okay, so first we need to find the circumference, because remember the circumference is the perimeter around the outside of the tire. Okay, so we're going to use our C equals pi d since the problem gave us diameter. Okay, so that's equal, so we would have C equals 3.14 times 2.3. Okay, then we multiply that together, our circumference will equal 7.22 feet. Okay, so now that we have one circumference, okay, that would be one revolution. So to have 12, to multiply that, we need to multiply that by 12 to get the total distance for 12 revolutions. So we're going to do 7.22 times 12, which will give us 86.664, and then we round that to the nearest hundredth, 86.66 feet. All right, number two, it says Sam needs to install a circular glass with a radius of 6 3/4 inches. How much glass will he need? Okay, so we know that the area is what we will need to measure to find what the glass, how much glass we'll need. So we're going to do area equals pi r squared. So area equals 3.14 times 6.75 squared. Okay, so here we took this fraction and went ahead and converted it to a decimal. So when we do 6.75 times 6.75, we're going to do 40, that'll be 45.56 times our pi, 3.14, which will give us a total of 143.07 inches squared. Okay, remember when you're doing area, your units is in squares. Okay, so on to the mini lesson. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is watch a video covering how circumference and area is related. So if you will go ahead and pause this video and watch the video on the screen, and then Miss Slaymaker and I will be back to explain it to you.
Okay, since this is a video, what you'll have to do is go to this actual slide in the actual PowerPoint, and then you'll be able to watch it. Okay, so now that you've watched this video, you were able to discover why the area formula exists and how we were able to come across it. So for centuries we've been able to use this formula to help us build a whole bunch of things. So we'll get to that later on in a different project that we'll do at the end of the year. But it's important to get to see, you know, why did we get this formula, what's the purpose for it, and how does it relate to other things in math. So now that you know about area, now we're going to go to the circumference formula. And why is that pi times the diameter, or 2 pi r, depending on what you're given. So the circumference of a circle is the perimeter of the circle, another word for it. And you can kind of see as we scroll through the next couple of slides that we're going to just kind of take the perimeter of the circle and show it in the form of a straight line. So we're kind of straightening out this line here. And it says here the length of this line segment is the circumference of the circle, which would be 314 centimeters. Okay, so the circumference is the same length as 3 diameters plus 14 hundredths of another diameter. Okay, so that means that this diameter right here actually fits along the sides, the perimeter of the circumference, 3 times plus 14 hundredths more. So it's just a tiny little bit more over 3. And this is why it's an irrational number, is because we don't exactly know for sure the exact estimate of where does it stop. It doesn't stop exactly at 3.14. It continues. So we'll look more into that later. But the basics here is that circumference equals the diameter times 3.14. So you can see there's 3 diameters here plus 14 hundredths more. And that creates the circumference of the circle. Okay, so how in the world would you find the area of a circle? So this is what the video was about, so I'm just going to kind of scroll through this a little bit so you can see how we can divide up the circle into pie shapes. We can move the pie shapes around to construct a rectangle, and you can see the comparison of the area base times the height to the area of the circle. So here it goes. So let's move on from this. Okay, so this is our, okay, hold on one second. Let's go back. Went too far. One more.
Yeah, let's go back one more.
That's
okay, so now let's try this formula. Find the area of the circle. Okay, so we're going to do, this is what the video talked about, radius times pi. Okay, so that's how we got the formula of area equals pi r squared. Okay, so what we want to notice next is what do the circumference and the area's formula have in common. Okay, so we know that they both have an r that we can use and a pi. Okay, so we can use that component of each formula, okay, to kind of use the formulas interchangeably to be able to find, if we have the circumference, we can find the area. If we have the area, we can find the circumference. Okay, so let's go on to our first example. Okay, it says if the circumference equals 176 inches, what is the area of the circle below?